Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Rumble has come and went. The road to WrestleMania is here, and it is clear that there are two members of the WWE roster that are going to have title matches at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Bayley, first-time Royal Rumble winner. Cody Rhodes, first-time back-to-back Royal Rumble winner since Stone Cold Steve Austin. We got a lot to talk about after the Royal Rumble. We started this Royal Rumble premium live event with quite possibly one of the biggest question marks to start the Women's Rumble. Who was going to win the Women's Royal Rumble? Were we going to see any surprises? Were we going to see any debuts? And honestly, this Women's Royal Rumble was a top 3 Royal Rumble, and it is certainly not number 3. I would say this truthfully might be the best Women's Royal Rumble that we've had in quite some time. In its inception, to be honest, I mean, it's certainly up there. I thoroughly enjoyed last year's. I thoroughly enjoyed 2021's. So the last couple years of Royal Rumbles have been very solid. 2022's as well was very good. This year, we did not get any legends. We didn't see any Michelle McCools. We didn't see any Mickie James. We didn't see any Melinas, Kelly Kellys, nobody like that of the sort. But we did get a shocking return. Well, to some, not so shocking, but for the fans, a great reception and a welcome home to Naomi. She entered the Royal Rumble at number 2. Number 1 was Natalya. She had a nice showing. The boat deserves some praise, I think. I think Natty doesn't get the flowers that she deserves. Bayley entered in at number 3. She would go on to win the Royal Rumble, which saw TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace make her WWE debut with a nice face-to-face and an ode and a nod to herself and Trinity, Naomi's rivalry that they had in TNA right before Naomi returned to WWE. Jordynne Grace had a great showing, almost, I think, 30-something minutes. Then she was eliminated Bianca with a brutal KOD. Bianca had a great showing in this women's match. Honestly, the rosters are jam-packed. Like, let's be real here. Naomi coming back into the fold, that definitely opens up some doors and opens up more questions when it comes to WrestleMania season, as now we are on the road to WrestleMania. Also, Jordynne Grace, we've seen it in the past. Does that mean maybe we'll see some crossover with TNA and WWE? I really hope so. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be awesome for TNA. I think that'd be great for WWE. Even if it's NXT stars, I think that'd be awesome to see that cross collaboration. Awesome Women's Royal Rumble. I can't express that enough. You had some funny moments. Maxine Dupree had a funny moment. I can't say enough about it. The women went and tore the house down. Nia Jax looked great. Becky had a great showing. And the biggest news of all, Jade Cargill made her triumphant debut to WWE. She signed over the summer. You know, when the time was right, we knew she was coming. The time is right. I'm glad they took the time with her. I'm glad she took the time to, really hone in on those skills that maybe she, wasn't 100% on. She looked fantastic. She eliminated Nia Jax herself. She, I think, is going to be a big to-do in WWE, especially WrestleMania season. I'm intrigued to see what this week holds for Raw and SmackDown. Where is Jade Cargill going to appear? That's a great question. Where's Naomi going to be? Is she going to be on Raw? Is she going to be on SmackDown? Can't wait to see what Bayley has to say as the winner of the Rumble on SmackDown on Friday. Damage Control, I'm sure, has a lot to say about it, or they're going to maybe start to branch away from Bayley since she won. And, of course, Liv Morgan returned. She was number 30 in the Rumble. She had a great showing. I'm excited to see what she brings back into the fold. The road to WrestleMania is going to be wild for the women this next couple months. Like, Elimination Chamber, the Women's Elimination Chamber is now going to be for what I would assume is the Raw, the Women's World Championship, and face Rhea if, my speculation is true and Bayley goes after Io, and Damage Control maybe throws her out of the group. So the women's side is electric. What's going to happen for Naomi? What's going to happen for Jade? What's Liv Morgan going to get into? Awesome women's Royal Rumble. I can't say enough about it. It was a fantastic watch, great rewatchability, and quite honestly, maybe a top 3 women's Royal Rumble. Like I said, certainly not number 3. It might very well be number 1 in this podcaster's opinion. We only had 4 matches total on the Royal Rumble match card. Women's Rumble, Men's Rumble. We have the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns. Now, not much to the shock and of the fans, myself, anybody who watched. Roman retained his championship. There was some bloodline shenanigans that took place, but Solo went right through that barricade, almost took out Samantha Irvin as well. She also had a fantastic introduction in this match. I have to give Samantha Irvin her flowers. She is one of the best women's announcers period we've had in WWE. So she was great tonight for Royal Rumble. Great Fatal 4-Way here. Definitely sets up some things when it comes to some individual matches. Certainly for AJ Styles and LA Knight, those two kind of were button heads throughout. They kind of cost each other the matches multiple times in the match itself. Randy Orton looked great. Roman looked pretty solid. What more could I say about this match? It was a good match. I'm not going to say it wasn't a bad match at all. It was a good match. I felt maybe we didn't need Solo Sikoa to come out there, but other than that, good match. Logan Paul defending his United States Championship against the prize fighter, Kevin Owens, in which was a fantastic match, in a match that was sandwiched between 2 really good Royal Rumbles, a really good Fatal 4-Way, in my personal opinion. I enjoyed the show tonight. I know some people didn't enjoy the Fatal 4-Way, but I liked it, and I also really enjoyed this U.S. title match. Kevin Owens, funny enough and ironically enough, when you say it, he really is one of the best in the world when it comes to professional wrestling, and he led Logan Paul to another fantastic match in Logan Paul's WWE career. I have to admit, love to hate the guy. Naturally, he's got that, dislikable face, and he's a fantastic heel. Great bad guy. Super talented in the ring. Very athletic. He could be something serious if he takes WWE very serious. And if he takes it as serious as a guy like Kevin Owens does, and Cody Rhodes, and he looks at some of these guys and draws a little inspiration, I think Logan Paul could be a guy you very well could say could hold the world championship. As crazy as I sound, saying that is crazy. If I were to say that, maybe 6-7 years ago, what a night and day difference. Kevin Owens, great stuff here. We did the classic brass knuck spot, we saw when Logan won the title. This time his buddy got caught in the act. Kevin Owens was able to utilize them for himself, but the ref saw it. This is the first time I can ever say in a match like this where there's, shenanigans or a foreign object used or a weapon, where the ref actually spotted it on Kevin Owens' hand during the pin. Very creative finish to, usually a very common and pretty predictive wrestling cliche. We've always seen like the, DQ, they got caught cheating, that's it, ring the bell, it's over. It's a DQ, he retains his title. We've seen that so many times. I like this. I thought this was a clever way to do it. Like, look, KO gets the advantage. He gets to use them. He's about to win. He gets the 3 count. Ref sees the brass knucks, gets disqualified. Great use of it. Great way to not, do that cliche, but still give it a nod, right? I referenced that earlier. Good stuff here from Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. Jordan, myself, we said it on the predictions. The U.S. Championship is destined for big things at WrestleMania. More than likely, those big things being Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked to see LA Knight and AJ Styles, after everything that happened in the Rumble match, happen at the Elimination Chamber. That's something to keep an eye on as well. The Elimination Chamber is going to be very interesting. I'll talk about it in the final mouth off. You know how we do. I was surprised at the men's Royal Rumble when it came to the lack of surprises, but the surprises that we did have also satisfied me. The men's roster is so deep right now. The women's roster is so deep in WWE. They have a great problem right now. They have so many main event caliber names, talent on both sides. You have main event caliber superstars coming up from NXT. We got the Braun Breaker breakout tonight here in the Royal Rumble. He had a fantastic show and he's spearing everybody. Explosive is what Triple H used to describe it on the press conference after Rumble. Best way to describe it, it was in fact explosive. He's so talented. I nailed it with my final four. I have to say, give myself a little pat on the back. Hit you with the Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, final four. Nailed it. Yeah. Great final four to have. You even had the return of Sami Zayn at number 30. A lot of people speculated, my good brother and fellow co-host, when it comes to wrestling shows on the Tobacco Road Sports Radio. Mike of Drop the Mic was clamoring for a Rock at number 30. It didn't happen. We'll see. I told you, it's all about the long game, Mike, if you're watching. Love you, brother. But awesome Royal Rumble. We did get the return of Andrade. I nailed that one as well. I did think we were going to see some legends, maybe Booker T. We did get Carmelo. Like I said, we were going to see some NXT faces. We did not see that many NXT faces in the Women's Rumble. We did get Tiffany Stratton and Roxanne, which were great in their own. Tiffany was a Final Four participant in the Rumble, if you were to get technical, I guess. Good stuff on the men's side as well here. Final Four delivered. Final two, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. A match that, truthfully, we should have gotten AEW all those years ago. We finally get it at the end of the Royal Rumble, where both guys are looking to do the same thing. Think about this. Look, there was concerns that The Rock coming back was going to throw the cards and everything to the back for Cody Rhodes, but it seems that that's not the case. Cody Rhodes wins the Rumble and immediately points to Roman in the suite in the skybox at Tropicana Field, and Roman looked shook. Let me tell you right now. Going to be a great match if we end up getting Cody and Roman part 2, and if Cody finishes that dang story, I hope he does. But the men's Rumble, because you have such a deep roster, same thing with the women's, they couldn't really get them legends in. Truthfully, really, who would you have called? You know, there was a few names that we toyed with, but really outside of maybe like a Booker T, you really didn't have too many. So they really doubled down and they made it as good as possible with the roster that you have, and to make it a viable possibility that anybody could win the Royal Rumble, any active member of the roster that, you know, is entering. You know, like I said, Andrade was a great surprise. Braun Breaker was a great surprise. Sami Zayn was a great surprise at the end. Overall, really good Royal Rumble. Really good premium live event from WWE. You know, in the press conference, Triple H said it. The streak continues. They sold out Tropicana. You know, this is where WWE was all those years ago. As crazy as it may sound, we're almost 4 years, 3.5 years post removed from the COVID era and the Thunderdome era, where WWE hosted their shows from Tropicana Field all those years ago. So it was cool to see, and Triple H even said it, you know, it's cool to see 48,000 people in that stadium for their show. So it was great. It's probably awesome for the talent as well. You know, congratulations to Bayley. Congratulations to Cody Rhodes. You know, Cody Rhodes, first back-to-back Royal Rumble winner since Stone Cold Steve Austin, puts himself in fantastic history with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Wow, this is fantastic for him. He is the guy, ladies and gentlemen. I said this months ago in the podcast, before we had a video feed happening. I said that Cody Rhodes is the next John Cena, and I will stand on that. Cody Rhodes is a guy you could build this company on, put it on his back, strap it to the rocket, strap it to the moon. It's going places, big things. Think about the merchandise appeal. Look, right here, you got all these Claim Your Kingdom, Finish the Story shirts. You know, you have the designs. You know, think about what he does in merch. You know, you have the Cody Rhodes weight belts that come in different colors. You could probably start getting towels, I bet, soon, pulling the John Cena. he is the guy. He will dethrone Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 and become the first WWE champion for the Rhodes family. And it's going to be something, and I can't wait for it. But before we get to WrestleMania, we're on the road to WrestleMania. We still got to think about Elimination Chamber. Let's talk about some possibilities, some matches, things that may be heating up that may have been hinted tonight in the Rumble for Chamber or possibly for WrestleMania. It's time for everybody's favorite segment of Mouthing Off with Mike, the final mouth off. Listen, Royal Rumble was a great show. We did have a lot of breaking news this week from WWE. You know, we got the Netflix. Raw's going to Netflix 2025. Very cool. Congratulations to them. The Rock is on the board of directors for TKO. Congratulations. Unfortunately, it was discovered, and honestly, for the most part, we pretty much knew what Vince McMahon was. We didn't know what to the extent. I'm not going to get any further details. There's an open pending lawsuit. I am not equipped to discuss this, to discuss the impact it has on people's lives. I'm not going to dare even try. And if you think that's a cop-out, so be it, fine. But I am not, a journalist. I'm not someone who could even begin to imagine those things. They're terrible, awful things. I condemn them. I wish nothing. But for these people involved to be exposed and for Vince McMahon to suffer the pain and agony that he caused, this woman involved, disgusting stuff. We knew going into it, the post Royal Rumble press conference, that things were going to be brought up. Nick Houseman of House of Wrestling asked Cody Rhodes about it. Cody Rhodes gave a good corporate answer. Then they asked Triple H, a few journalists. Triple H dodged these questions, wanted to focus on the positives, and I can respect that. He's been working hard. He worked very, very hard, to create a very good and cohesive wrestling product, and I don't fault him for not wanting to dwell on these negative and this dark cloud, but the answers definitely should have been better. Obviously, it's an ongoing lawsuit, it's an ongoing investigation, so there's certain things obviously he can't talk on, but I would have expected a little bit more. You don't know what to expect in these situations. Props to the journalists and the media and the wrestling, people involved that did ask those questions. We needed to. They had to be addressed. And I don't want to spend too much time on it because, like I said, I don't feel I'm the right person to talk about it. It is a disgusting thing. And that is where we will leave it. WWE on the other side of the coin, great stuff here. Royal Rumble, like I said, a great show. We're shifting gears. We are now officially on the road to WrestleMania. The WrestleMania sign is now going to hang from the venues of where WWE will be for the next 2 months until we get there in Philly. A lot of things are still left unclear. There are still a lot of roads that are being driven, and we're going to see where those destinations lead us, and hopefully for these superstars, they lead to WrestleMania. We know one person in particular, Cody Rhodes, right off the bat, did not even hesitate, points right to that WrestleMania sign, finds Roman Reigns in that box and points right to him. We know Cody is going for Roman Reigns and that championship. The cool part about this is that Cody is a Raw superstar. And they've been really reinforcing those lines of Raw and SmackDown. How we get there and how we get Cody back to SmackDown is something I can't wait to see. Could you see a trade happen? Could LA Knight end up back on Raw? Could LA Knight go for the World Heavyweight Championship? Now we have Elimination Chamber. That's coming up February 24th. That's going to be I believe a 5 a.m., 6 a.m. premium live event for the folks on the East Coast. For me, on the West Coast, I got to watch that at like 3 a.m. That's going to be a tough one. For the folks down under in Australia, they're thriving. It's going to air local time for them, so they're hyped. They don't have to stay up or watch it the next day like they have to when they have to watch the US-based premium live events. And same with the folks over in London and Europe, so they're thriving. for that show. So we get a little taste of what those fans from outside of the U.S. have to experience when watching premium live events. Pretty cool. I'm all for it. How the chamber is going to probably play out. We know Cody's going for Roman, so Seth needs an opponent for WrestleMania. So could you see the Elimination Chamber be CM Punk coming out and winning that chamber to then take on Seth? Could it be just Seth versus Drew? I think because you had a final 6, and a lot of them were Raw guys. You had Sami Zayn involved. You had Drew. You had Gunther. You had CM Punk. Obviously, you have Cody. I think you're probably going to see a chamber match, and I think you're going to see Gunther, Sammy, CM Punk, maybe a Bronson Reed, maybe an Andrade. But I think Andrade and Bronson Reed, because Bronson Reed eliminated Andrade, I think those two will lock up at Elimination Chamber because Bronson Reed is, in fact, from Australia. You know, Rhea Ripley's probably going to be on the card. She is as well from Australia. Grayson Waller, you have to anticipate also, because we are down under. So hopefully they get the local talent on that show. It's a big show for Australia. It's a big show for WWE. And it's a big show for the talent from Australia. Indy Hartwell as well. I'm hoping that we get a tag title match at Elimination Chamber. I'm hoping we somehow split those tag titles. But I'm excited. This is great. This is the best time of the year. If you're a WWE fan, if you're a wrestling fan, AEW's doing well. WWE's firing all cylinders. TNA's doing great. They're getting highlighted in the Royal Rumble. Their women's knockouts champion is in that with Jordan Grace. A great moment for them again. Naomi's back. Andrade's back. You got Liv Morgan back. We're cooking, ladies and gentlemen. The road to WrestleMania is going to be a wild, curvy, bumpy, forked road, and I am ready for it, and you should be too. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you go out there and you like, subscribe, do all the things. Leave a rating if you're listening on the audio side. But seriously, go out there and enjoy these next couple months in wrestling because they are big time, and the road to WrestleMania is getting crazy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Now they off with Mike. Now they off with Mike. Now they off with Mike.